And I would like to say to everyone, we have a short day today, all right? So I want to get as much done as I possibly can, all right? And especially I want to take a look at the word problems, or we definitely got to get through that, all right, as much as we possibly can. All right, so some of you guys were whining about this stuff yesterday, so I kind of wanted to talk to you about it again, just to review. All right. Again, it had everything to do with short leg, long leg kind of stuff. All right. So if I'm looking for BD, let's put an X there. Right. And then AD is the short leg over BD. So this is short leg to long leg. All right. So in this case, it went what? 6 over X. Now, from this triangle's perspective, the short leg is X and the long leg is 12. So now cross multiply X squared equals, remember, 6 times 12. There's no reason to multiply it because when you take the square root, you're going to notice there's a common what? 6. So 6 radical 2. Everybody good on that now? All right. Now let's look at the next one. Find X, Y, and Z. Super important. All right. Now, again, I'm not sure what the problem here is, because once I find X, listen to me, now it's just Pythagorean theorem for both of them. All right, if you wanted to do it that way. Everybody see that? All right, so again, it's just short leg, long leg. All right, so I can do short leg 8 over X is equal to, what is that? X over 23. Everybody good with that? And so now X squared, notice again, 8 times 23, I'm not going to multiply it because I don't feel like breaking it down. Now 8 is the same as 4 times 2, so X is equal to 2 radical what? 2 radical 46. Everybody okay with that? I know that. All right. Does everybody agree with X is equal to 2 radical 46? All right. Now, does everybody agree Y is just the hypotenuse of the short triangle, right? Or the small triangle? Yes. All right. So now it is just 8 squared plus 2 radical 46 squared equals Y squared. 64 plus 4 times 46. I just wanted to show that step for you, if you forgot. And again, we'll get close to times where you'll be testing, right, when you go to your high school that you want to get into. So you definitely need to review the radicals. All right. Now, 4 times 46. So we would say 64 plus, what is that, 184 equals Y squared. Now when you add that, what is that, 248 equals Y squared, right? Now when you do the square root of 248, Y is equal to the square root. Now, the one I see right off the bat is 4 times 62, right? And I think that's the best. Y equals 2 radical 62. Is everybody good with that? Anybody have any issues? And now, do I really need to do Z? Z is the same. Everybody okay with that? Z is the same. All right, so let's move on. Number 3. The thing you had to remember on number 3 was that it was a what? Isosceles triangle. Right, because it's isosceles, when you draw the altitude, this is a 9. Everybody good with that? So now it's just 9 squared plus X squared equals 19 squared. 9 squared is 81 plus X squared, and 19 squared is what? 361. Subtract X squared equals, what is that, 280? And now I'm thinking 4 times 70. So X is equal to 2 radical 70. Everybody okay with that? Yeah.
Can we write it as a decimal?
No decimals. Only radicals. 512 what?
13.
5, 12, 13. Those are just the triples. Remember the ones that help you are 3, 4, 5, 5, 12, 13, 8, 15, 17, 7, 24, 25. You should know those. Makes life easy. Everybody good with that? Alright, here we go. Now, number 5. You should be able to look at that and just say that's 15, right? Because you remember the rules for 45, 45, 90. But let's say you forgot. Now you can do what? Trig. Right? That's why I tell kids all the time, if you forgot the 30, 60, 90, 45, 45, 90, you now know how to do this using trig. But of course, we want to use the special right triangles because it's simple. All right? Remember, when you're going from the hypotenuse to the leg, you divide by radical 2. If I was going from the leg to the hypotenuse, you would multiply by radical 2. Everybody good with that? All right, let's review here. All right. Opposite the 30 is always half the hypotenuse. Opposite the 30 is always half the hypotenuse. Make that note. So AB is how much?
25.
All right. And then BC is 25 radical 3. All right. Everybody good with that? Yes.
I did something. I used cosine.
Yes. That's what I said. You could do that. Did you get AB to be 25? But again, I want you to make this note, though. I really think this is a good thing to know without using trig. So I need you to make sure you understand from the hypotenuse to the side opposite the 30, you divide by 2. And then to get from the 30 to the 60, you just multiply by radical 3. And if you go in the reverse order, right, you just, if I'm going from the 60 to the 30, we divide by radical 3. And from the 30 to the hypotenuse, you multiply by 2. Those are old rules. All right. Now, number 7, let's go. So in this case, we have the opposite in the hypotenuse. So this would be sine of 67 is equal to x over 20. So x is equal to 20 sine 67. I'm needing help here. Approximately 18? Yeah, 18.4. All right, help me out. Come on now, please pay attention now. Come on. All right, there's only 20 questions on the test tomorrow. All right. So now, here we go. Find the measure of the angle of elevation, right, of the sun when a pole is 25 feet and it casts a shadow 42. I think on the test I said draw a picture, draw a picture, draw a picture. That's all I did, draw a picture after every word problem. So here we go. We're drawing the pole, and the pole is what? 25 feet. And then the shadow is what? 42 feet. So this is the angle of elevation. Correct? So now we have an unknown. We have opposite and we have adjacent. So obviously tangent of x is equal to 25 over 42. X equals inverse tangent of 25 over 42, which is approximately how many degrees, guys? 30.8 degrees, somewhere around there. I'm assuming. Anybody else get that? Checking your answers. Which is the angle of depression? This is just to make sure to remind you that is the angle of depression. That is the what? Angle of elevation. They're equal because they are alternate interior angles. All right. Now, of course, we're going to draw triangle XYZ. Angle Y is 36. Angle X is 49. Side X is 12. Find Y. So now obviously this is the law of sines. Law of sines. So we have sine of 36 over Y equals sine of X. Sine of 49, sorry, over 12. And I always tell everybody I just feel like you guys are smart enough to just cross multiply divide, right? So Y is roughly what here? About 9.3. Everybody happy with 9.3? All right. Next one, triangle ABC. All right. A, B, C. A is 12. B is 8. Angle A is 40. Angle B. Here we go. All right. So again, sine of 40 over 12 equals sine of B over 8. So sine of B is equal to 8 sine 40 over 12. Is everybody good with that? And then B is equal to, or angle B is equal to how many degrees? Remember, you're looking for an angle, so we have to do inverse. Help me. Thank you. Somebody else confirm 25.4. All right. Number 12, find the length of the third side of a triangular garden if two sides measure 8, 12, and the included angle is 50. So everybody's supposed to look at that and say that's just obviously law of cosine, right? So we have x squared is equal to 8 squared plus 12 squared minus 2 times 8 times 12 times cosine of 50. X squared is roughly how much? How much? Well, what's x squared? Is that right? 9.2? No. So x is approximately 9.2. Right? You may write down the number. 84.64, somebody said. So hopefully that's right. Now's the time to speak up. Everybody okay? Any questions? Any questions? All right, here we go. All right, let's draw another triangle, DEF. All right, so here we go, DEF. Side D is 20, side E is 25, side F is 30. So we're looking for angle F. So obviously we're going to be using law of cosine. Good job, guys. So the angle that you're looking for, that side opposite goes in the outside of the formula. So we have 30 squared is equal to 20 squared plus 25 squared minus 2 times 20 times 25 times cosine of F. Good? So now let's calculate. 30 squared minus 20 squared minus 25 squared. Somebody tell me what that is. Negative 125 is equal to, I could just say, negative 2 times 20 times 25 cosine F, right? So now you're going to divide your answer by parentheses, negative 2 times 20 times 25, close parentheses, equals cosine F. And then you do inverse cosine of that answer. Everybody happy with that? Inverse cosine of that answer. And somebody tell me what F is. About 82.8 degrees. Everybody happy with that? So I feel like we've done a law of sine. I feel like we've done law of cosines. We've done the right triangles. You should know how to do everything now. All right. Now, if I'm not mistaken, there's like 8 word problems or something like that. But don't be worried about the word problems, because all you have to do is what? Draw the picture. It's always going to create a triangle. All right. You have to know which one's a right triangle, which one's not a right triangle. All right. So, does anybody need help with 14 or 15 or 16 or 17? I'd rather get down to the word problems. What? 14. All right. So again, it's just a matter of drawing the triangle. A, B, C. B is 2, C is 6, and angle A is 35. So this is what law? Law of cosine. Emily, is that right? So now A squared is equal to 6 squared plus 2 squared minus 2 times 6 times 2 times cosine of 35. Just type that straight into the calculator. And so A squared is roughly, who did that? How much? 20.34. So A is approximately 4.5. Anybody else have any issues? Anybody have any issues? Issues? All right. So 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Those seem to me straightforward. What? Let's look at 18. Angle B. So I'm highlighting. Notice what I'm doing. I'm highlighting what I'm looking for. So I know that angle B, the relationship between 14 and 8, good job. Tangent of B is equal to 14 over 8. Angle B is equal to the inverse tangent of 14 over 8, which is approximately what? Help me, come on, guys. About 6.3 degrees. Anybody else get 6.3 degrees? 60.3. Oh, sorry, I'm getting older. 60.3. Everybody good with 60.3? Right? Come on, guys. I think it's easy now. I want you to start out with a great grade. All right? Everything else will be easy then. All right? A lot less stress if you do well in the first one. All right. I'm going to jump now to 21. On the test, I say, draw a picture. All right, so Pat was flying a kite when the string broke. All right, Pat is 36 yards lower than the kite. The distance from Pat to the kite is 200 yards. Okay, so this is a little tricky, I think, right? So when you're drawing or when you're, creating a kite, or, your kite is in the air, obviously it's going to create a what? Yep. So Pat was flying a kite when the string broke and the kite fell to the ground. Pat is 36 yards lower than the kite. So I'm thinking this looks like 36 to me. If Pat is over here, right, flying a kite, she's 36 yards. Does everybody agree with that? And the distance from Pat to the kite is what? 200 yards. So here's the kite up here. Does everybody agree? So that distance to me personally would be right here. That's what I'm thinking. Does everybody agree with that? Okay, so now I'm interested in the angle of elevation. So what trig function? Sine, thank you. Sine of x is equal to what?
30 over 200.
30 or 36?
36 over 200.
Right, so x is equal to, so angle x is equal to the inverse sine of 36 over 200, which is roughly how many degrees?
10.4.
Yeah, 10.4 degrees. Everybody okay with that? Is that what the answer was? All right, so here we go. 2 cabins are observed by a ranger in a 60-foot tower above a park. The angle of depression is 11.6 and 9.4. How far apart are the cabins? All right. Two cabins are observed by a ranger in a 60-foot tower. All right, so I'm going to draw my tower, and this is 60 feet, right? And then two cabins are observed by a ranger in the angle of depression. So from here to here, it seems to me, if this is reasonable, right here would be cabin number 1. And then over here, that would be cabin number 2. Do I agree with that? Now, what is this angle right here? Somebody tell me what this angle is. What is that angle? I'm asking, what is the degree measure of that angle? Is it 9.4 or is it 11.6? Does that make sense, right? The closer you are, the bigger the angle created. Right? The further away, the smaller the angle. All right, that's where a lot of kids get confused. So hopefully that makes sense. 11.6, 9.4, and this right here, does everybody agree that's what we're looking for right there? Everybody agreeing with me? What? Everybody happy with this information? Now, here's what I'd like for you to think about. Please look up, look up, look up, because there's lots of ways to do this. All right, lots of ways. So I'm going to give you my opinion. All right, if this angle right here, I personally, when I'm doing these types of, I try to find all the angles possible. I try to find all the angles possible. So here we go. So this angle right here is 11.6. So I need help. Yeah, come on, man. Let's focus here. That's part of the problem. All right, if that's 11.6, what's the measure of the other angle? This missing angle right here. Yeah, everybody should have been 78.4. Everybody should have been able to do that. Now, what's this angle right here? Somebody tell me. Come on. What's this angle right here, guys? Thank you, those of you guys who are with me. 168.4. Now, what's this angle right here? Someone tell me. Anybody else say 2.2? Now, to me, watch how simple this is now. All right? Now, if I'm trying to find x, I could use the law of sines. Pay attention. Right? I could say sine of 2.2 over x is equal to, now I just need to figure out what this guy is right there. Everybody agree with me on this? Come on now. Everybody agree? So I'm missing the hypotenuse of this triangle right here. Everybody agree with that? So what trig function am I going to use to find that? Sine of 11.6 equals 60 over x. So x is equal to 60 divided by the sine of 11.6. All right, now I also make bad habits. I forget to put angle measures, and sometimes I get confused then with it, if it's an angle or if it's a measurement. So somebody tell me what that is. Around 298.4. Everybody happy with that, right? That's 298.4. Now, that answer goes in here, 298.4, and then that would be sine of 9.4. So I agree with that. Do I want the rounded answer here, guys? Do I want the rounded answer? No. Use your calculator, and that's the answer. Right? Does everybody understand what I'm saying about use the answer button on the calculator? Don't round. Please don't round. But you know I don't care if you're off a little. But I'm trying to show you how to use your calculator so you don't round until the very end. So what is that distance there now, guys? Somebody said 70.1. Now, hopefully you like that better than using a system of equations. All right, some of you may have used the system of equations. I'm totally fine with that. Hopefully you agree if you use the system of equations, it'll come out to be the same answer. Yes, it comes out to be the same. All right, here we go. 23. Two swimmers are observed by a lifeguard in a 30-foot tower above the water. The angles of it. So, do you agree that's the same problem? Everybody agree that's the same problem? All right, so I'd rather try a different one. Right? Now, if you want to draw it, again, you're just here is your tower, and here are your two swimmers. And now 14.5 goes here, 12.7 goes here, 30 feet goes there. All right? Everybody happy with that, right? Here we go. If a 20-foot ladder makes a 65-degree angle with the ground. All right, so here we go. "20-foot ladder, 65 degrees. How many feet up the wall? X." So what trig function is involved here, guys? Sine of equals x over 20. X equals 20 sine 65. Somebody help me. 18.1 feet. I think that's easy, right? Everybody good? Good. All right, so a ship's sonar finds the angle of depression in a wreck at the bottom of the ocean is 12.5 degrees. If a point on the ocean floor is 60 meters below the ship. So again, all I'm doing is drawing a what? Drawing a triangle. Uh, 60 meters directly below the ship. The angle of depression is 12.5. So where do I put the 12.5? Bottom right. Come on, guys. You're going to mess everything up if you do that. That's 12.5 degrees right there. Not 12.5. Now, if you wanted to put 12.5 correctly, you would extend this out and put 12.5 right there. Does everybody agree with that? Right? Everybody agree? And so we want to know how many meters is it from the point on the ocean floor to the wreck. So I'm assuming we want to find this guy right here, right? So again, it's kind of boring because it's still what? What trig function? I think it's sine, isn't it? Right, so this would be sine of 12.5 is equal to 60 over x. X equals 60 divided by the sine of 12.5. And what's that? 277.2 meters, right? Everybody happy? Everybody good? All right, does everybody agree? 26, 27, those. 270.6. All right, well, I didn't write that. Why is it tangent? Okay, let me see if it says. Thank you, girls. Let's see if I'm wrong. I doubt it. If a point on the ocean floor is 60 meters directly below the ship, how many meters is it from that point? Not from the ship. Thank you, girls. You are correct. So we actually want what? We want this. Thank you. All right, that's why you have to read carefully. Easy to make a dumb mistake, okay? Thank you. All right, so this now, instead of sine, help me. Good job, girls. Again, tangent. All right. So now we would have tangent of 12.5 equals 60 over x. So x is equal to 60 over the tangent of 12.5. And what is that, please? How much? Yeah, about 270.6 meters. Put the units in tomorrow on your test. All right. 26 and 27 are not word problems. That's just drawing the triangles. Am I good with that? All right. I'd rather get to the word problems just to make sure you're good. 29. From a window 20 feet above the ground, the angle of elevation to the top of another building is 35 degrees. The distance between the building is 52. Find the height of the building to the nearest tenth of a foot. All right. So let me see if I can draw this. From a window 25 feet above the ground. All right. So here's where I am. Are you guys telling me it's time to go? Is it time to go? Oh, I just thought you were wrapping up. Oh, that's okay. So 20 feet above the ground. Another building over here. The angle of elevation to the other building is this guy right here, right? So draw this over this way, and this would be what? 35 degrees. Does everybody agree with that? Now, this still is 20 over here, right? The distance between the building is 52. Does everybody agree with that? And so this is x, right? So now again, this is what? Tangent of 35 is equal to x over 52. And then what do you have to do to the 20? Add it in. That's the answer. All right, does anybody have any questions for that? All right. Well, we only had a couple more left. I don't think this one's that hard right here, right? If that's 76 degrees, that's 4 degrees right here. This would be 86 degrees, right? And if that's 86 degrees plus 76 degrees, what is that, 162, right? From 180, this angle right here is 18 degrees, right? All right, so see how you do that, all right? All right, thank you, guys. All right, tomorrow, 20 questions.
Wait,
Time flies when you have fun. Right? Okay. So, I'm going to...
Mr. Shroud?